Hello, friends. Welcome to Josiah Venture Stories. You will hear incredible stories of life change from the mission field and be inspired by the movement of God in Central and Eastern Europe. I'm your host, Gwen Turner, and I am so excited to share today's conversation with you. Today on the show is Slovak national Daniel Harcar. Daniel accepted Christ as his Savior when he was 16 years old. A year later, he began serving at his local church in Prešov as a member of the youth group, and soon became a leader of both a high school youth group and the English camp outreach ministry called KECY. In 2013, he passed the leadership role of the local youth group to the next generation and later joined the Training Center Kompas, Josiah Venture's partner organization in Slovakia, where he now serves as the KECY coordinator. He married his wife Denisa in the fall of 2012. Together, they share a heart for making disciples who make disciples. They currently live and serve in Drienovská Nová Ves, Slovakia, along with their daughters, Luna and Mila. Daniel, welcome to the show.
Hi, Gwen. Thanks for welcome.
Thank you for being on the podcast. I think, first of all, I really tried. Can you say the city where you live currently?
It's Drienovská Nová Ves.
Drienovská Nová Ves.
Nice. You are doing better every time.
Every time. Oh my gosh. Well, thank you for being on the podcast.
Thank you for inviting me.
Language is hard. Yes. Well, at the beginning, I would love to hear just a little bit more about who you are, your family, things that you guys like to do as a family, things like that.
So as you mentioned, my family is my wife, Denisa, and we have two daughters, 4 and 1 year old, Luna and Mila.
Fun.
So it's busy and it's great. I love spending time with them. But I love all kinds of sport. I was always competitive and I love to play. I played soccer for Americans.
Yes, soccer. Yeah. Yes.
All my life from very early. And I love it. I don't play it now because of issues with my back, but I still love to watch football. I like to talk about football. And I love any other kind of sports. And I try to play with my daughters now and do anything. So, and I also love board games. And I think it's connected somehow, you just...
The competitiveness. Yeah.
When I was younger, I loved winning, about competitiveness. But now I learned what it means that even in losing, there is a point and there is something you can learn and something to get out of it. So I'm okay with losing from time to time,
That's good. That shows growth,
Yeah. Yeah. My daughter Luna, she hates losing very much.
Oh. So is she more like you?
Probably, yeah.
Well, thank you for sharing about your family. But I would love to hear about your faith journey. And I know that you came to the Lord when you were 16, but what did that look like to come to know Jesus as a teenager?
Mm-hmm. I always say that I grew up in a traditional Slovak home. So I would even say it's that I grew up in non-believer family because we went to church. I was even baptized as a kid. We went to church few times a year, but that was about
Christmas and Easter?
Yeah, Christmas, Easter, maybe few times in between, but that was all. But there was never, nobody led me to read the Bible or what it means to have a relationship with Jesus. And I get to that only when I came to a camp with the Christians on it, when I was already a teenager. So that was something new still. When I heard about you can have a relationship with Jesus and you can just talk with with him like a normal person, and that was like, this is not the
Yeah.
Christianity I know, like I was growing up something different. And my journey was also affected by my family and like how it looked like. So I need to say that it was dysfunctional family. Even my mom was the one that was gluing our family together. I have one older brother,
Yeah.
but our father was an alcoholic, and he always had a problem with it. And since I remember, and it was hard, it was tough. But
Yeah.
sadly, it's true for many families in like eastern part of Slovakia and those countries that have like men are having a hard time to get a job and stuff like that, and people don't know how to carry the burdens. So yeah, that was the big part of me growing up and just surviving in that, like the world is a hard place, and maybe the world is not so good to me, but I need to just go on somehow. And when I was 15, I first time came to a Christian camp, or maybe before I met some Christians, but I understood what gospel is when I was 15. And then just about a year later, my father, he had still had an issues with alcohol. He couldn't deal with them, and he actually committed suicide. And
Wow.
and for me, it was a point in my life where I needed to stop and started to think much more about like where my life is heading. What do I do in the future? I was even trying to pursue a career in football at that time, and I was already started to drink from time to time with my friends, and I had all kinds of friends that I don't think had a good influence on me, and I just stopped at that moment and started to think about future, about life and death, and about if there is something more. And I remember that was one of the key moments that led me to rethink, like, oh, I heard the gospel. I even understood that I could have a relationship with Jesus, but I didn't do anything about it, and I just let it somewhere there. And it took me a few months, and I actually I went back to a youth group that I knew a few people there, and maybe 1 month later I decided to follow Jesus, actually during a spring break in Slovakia.
During a spring break. Wow. So did someone initially invite you to that youth group, or did you just...
So it was interesting. I have older brother, and he was already connected. He was a first believer in my family.
Oh, okay.
And he was already in touch with the youth group, with some people there, and he was coming there, and he invited me along with a few people that came to the camp that I was before. So yeah, when I was 15, I already met some Christians. I built some relationships with them, and then a year later, after my dad passed, they even some of them contacted me. Like more of them wrote to me that they are sorry, then condolences.
They found out about what happened.
And they knew because of my brother, because they were in touch with him, and they were like, oh, like, and we also know your brother, like he's not coming here, and but we know him. So some of them messaged me, and I was like, they cared. Like I felt like somebody that even I didn't even see for a year, and they cared. So that's what encouraged me to just go back. Yeah.
Yeah, it was the relationships. And also, I'm sure your brother was filled with joy when you became a believer.
We weren't like the best friends, I'm not sure if it's the similar for other boys,
right?
But we were growing up together, competing together, and everything. So I didn't want to be the same as him, but I saw that he cared. Like even though we didn't like share deeply about all what we felt and stuff like that, but but he cared, and I saw like how he is dealing with the situation, and how I didn't know how to deal with.
Right.
Yeah.
And that's incredible to think about how God used a really tragic part of your life to draw you closer to Him. Because I think a lot of times when something like that happens, either you go further away from God, of like, how could you let this happen? Or you draw closer. And so that's encouraging to hear that you were drawn closer and that there are people in your life who are reaching out to you. That also makes a big impact, right?
And I would add that for many years I felt kind of ashamed, for it. Even among Christians, I felt like, oh, I have this black mark in my past, and how will people look at me? And I realized that it's something that, sadly, but it's something that so many students in Slovakia can connect with. Like, they are growing in dysfunctional homes. Maybe they still have both parents, or maybe their parents are divorced, or something, but it's dysfunctional. And I know what it means. I know what it feels like. And I realized that it's something that even God can use for His glory. And I try to see or look at it this way.
Yeah, all for God's glory. But thank you for sharing that. That has to be just a difficult part. But it sounds like you have seen how God can use things like that, obviously.
Yeah.
And yeah. So was those first camps you went to, were those Josiah Venture camps or no?
So yeah, actually the first camp that I visited with Christians was not Josiah Venture camp. It was like I went to a Lutheran church, or I was baptized as a Lutheran kid. So we had like a confirmation. So when you are about like 14 years old, you need to like stand in front of the church and say something, or just like there is a ceremony, I would say.
Yes, yeah.
So I went through that, and then they invited whole group that went for confirmation to like a camp in the summer. So that was the first time, I would say, that I went to a camp with Christians, and it was something like very, very different that I experienced before. And maybe a few months or maybe a year later, I went to a summer camp as a non-believer, JV summer camp.
Okay.
And that was the first time that I would say I understood what gospel means, what it means to me, and that God, like, it is a relationship that I can have as well.
That's incredible. So then you started serving in your church and got more involved. And now I can see even how your camp experience as a teenager made you fall in love with camps. And now there's like the KECY camp ministry. So talk a little bit about how just, volunteering in your youth group to then now serving with the KECY camp ministry.
So when I became a believer, I would say it changed everything in my life. Like, really, it was like upside down. I said it was a spring break. And after a spring break, when I came back to school, my friends in school, they were asking like, what is wrong with you? Like, you are
They
different.
noticed the difference.
Yeah. I was actually in a football class. So it was 28 guys, and like competitive and in tough environment, or you needed to be tough. And I was that. And after this week of spring break, I came to school, and they were like, you are not swearing anymore. You are not like being mean to others. Like, what happens? Like, something is different. Like, and I told them like, oh, I became a believer. Like, I believe in Jesus. And they were like, oh, that's weird. I'm not sure if I want to know more. Yeah. So some of them were scared. Like, some of them were scared. Like, what happened to this guy? But it was a huge change. And it was also a change that like, I wanted to be everywhere with like, I started to read the Bible. I started to come to youth group. I started to even come to like a youth group for university students when I was 16, and I was a new believer.
Oh, wow.
And I was I shouldn't be there, but they let me stay, and I just wanted to be everywhere. And soon they started to give me something, like, oh, you can help set up chairs, you come half hour early and do something for others. Or my first basically service, I would say, was doing the slides for the talks.
Oh,
for
nice. Yeah,
the
chairs and the
yeah,
slides,
chairs and the
That's-
slides. That's where it all started. And I wanted to just be everywhere. And after maybe a year of being a believer, they invited me to serve at the summer camp, and I immediately said yes. I wanted to be there, and I don't know. It was I wanted to be everywhere at that time, but
yeah, just soaking it all in. Yeah,
but
yeah.
I feel like it was maybe not so conscious at the time, but in the back of my mind was like, this is something that changed my life. I want that for others. I want that for my schoolmates. I want that for people that play football anywhere around in Prešov or anywhere in Slovakia. Like, I just wanted for them to know who Jesus is. I just wanted to do something for others, and and I felt like I should. So I started to serve, and actually the following year I applied for a summer internship. So in 2008, I was a summer intern. There was a missionary living in Slovakia at the time, Mike Sullivan.
Mike Sullivan.
He led me on my intern team, and it was great experience. I learned much more about who Josiah Venture is. I learned more about how this ministry is not only in my town, in other towns in Slovakia, and even in other countries. And
right.
And when I heard like the mission and vision of Josiah Venture, I was like, that's something I would love to be part of. I was 18, 19 years old, 2 years believer, and I was like, I want this in my life for sure. I wasn't sure if I want to, like, if it will be my work or something, but I just felt that my heart really connected with this mission, and I wanted to see myself in it as well.
Yeah, wow, that's incredible. Just your story of coming to know the Lord, being passionate, and your heart opening for other people to know Jesus too. That's amazing. And then doing an internship, and I feel like even your heart opening more. So then, as you did your internship working with young people, like, what is it about working with young people that continues to capture your heart today?
I always love to talk with people. I'm pretty extroverted, and I wanted to just like know how they think, what they think about God, and because of my experiences in like non-Christian environment, I know what life is like in those circles, and I could connect, and I could just talk with. I love to talk with kids that came to a camp with idea in their mind that Christians are weird.
Yeah.
and it's such a good conversations, just to listen, like, and they are true. Many times they are true in what they say. Like,
be like, tell me why you think Christians are weird. Yeah, let's just talk about it. Yeah,
and I love to listen, and I say, like, actually, like, you're right in many things, but I learned, and I know that that God is much more personal, and it's so different and just this passion to talk with people, to share gospel. Like, it's there are some milestones in my life, like getting married, having kids, but also like praying with somebody that is deciding to follow Christ, like sitting with this person and praying this one prayer, and that this life, the life of this person will be changed forever. And you were there. Like, I was there sitting there with this girl, with this boy, and praying. Like, that's the milestone. And there are multiple of these that I love to, and I cherish them, and I love and I
Yes.
love that I have this in my life, and I have passion for sharing the gospel with young people, and just like being there where God does miracles.
Right. Yeah. God doing miracles and being there for those sacred moments
Mhm.
when someone is, choosing to follow Jesus like that. Yeah. That's a privilege too and a blessing to be at those moments. Yeah. Wow. So then you did the internship. When did you become full-time Josiah Venture?
So I became full-time, I think, in 2014.
Okay.
I was around for a few years before. I did like we have in Slovakia School of Leaders, so it's like 1 year program that I went through to become better leader in my local youth group, and I served in multiple things with Training Center Kompas, and basically in 2013-14 I decided that I would like to try to be a full-time missionary, and with my wife as well. She also serves full-time in ministry, and she was actually leading School of Leaders. Not when I was there,
Oh.
much later.
Okay.
But
That's not how you met. No.
no, that's not it. But she's a teacher, and she's really smart, and she was leading School of Leaders in our organization as well. So we both went to a full-time ministry in 2014-13, and I went to serve with KECY, with English camps, because that's where really my heart, my passion was there. And I still do, and I still serve in that team. I led a team for many years. Now I co-lead a team, or I serve all the Slovak churches. And my colleague Benny, he takes care of communication with American teams, with Josiah Venture, and we work basically together. It's still great just to see that God can still use it. Like even after more than 10 years, you can see that the ministry is bringing fruit year after year, and the fruit that it's there. Like I love the verse in, I think it's John 15:8 or something like that. And it's that you should, like, you bring fruit, and fruit that lasts.
Yes, the fruit that lasts.
And
yes.
I love that. And I love that picture. Like I want to make disciples. I want to see the fruit of my ministry, but I want that fruit to last. I don't want it, just to grow and die. And I love that picture that KECY and summer camp is doing that.
And would you say that that's your personal ministry vision, is to see the fruit that lasts? Or I would love to hear more about that, like your heart for discipleship, or your heart for like your ministry goals, and things like that.
Yeah. So as I was more involved in the ministry, I realized, or in the full-time ministry, I got to spend much more time with the leaders of different youth groups in different churches in Slovakia, and I realized that they can have so much influence, much more than I can, like much more influence than I can ever imagine, and I can just help them to make one more step. So, and it was that mindset to make disciples who make disciples. And I love to seek these people out. I would say that that's the vision for the ministry that I have, like to make disciples that make disciples, because that's how the church grows. That's how the ministry expands. That's how churches expand. That's how a gospel is shared. That you lead one person to Jesus, but he's maybe leading another too, and then it multiplies. And after years of that, you see tremendous results. And I love to think long term. I love to think to the future and to bring some
long game.
Yes, yes, strategic game. You don't need to do everything. You don't need to do everything in 1 year. You will not change the world in 1 year if you are not Jesus. But
Right.
but you can play a long game, and you can bring a lot of results if you play a long game.
Playing the long game. And I imagine the answer is yes to this next question, but are you in a discipleship making relationship right now where you're
Yes.
discipling? Yes.
I am in few
A
of those.
few. Yeah. And how are young people responding, do you feel, to the gospel these days?
So I have few of those. Now I would say it's more investing into leaders that lead those young students. So I'm, for
Yes.
example, now, like as I mentioned, I take care of Slovak camp teams, and I sometimes mentor like the leader of the camp and try to help him to understand like this long-term passion for the ministry, and just see like you don't have to do like the biggest camp this summer or next summer, that's not the goal, but to invest in a few that will invest into others. Like that's the
Yes.
playing the long game. And I try to mentor young leaders in Slovakia into that. My small group with teenagers, I had one few years ago that ended, but I was investing into guys from since they were 13, and we finished when they were 18. So I had four
Wow.
guys that I led disciple, and now not all of them, but some of them are leading others, and that's what I want to see. But I still try to like invest into leaders that can make a difference in their churches, in their youth groups, their camps.
Yeah. Yeah. Discipleship, investing into leaders and the next generation. Just amazing. Amazing. Well, Daniel, I'm just already just so encouraged by just your story and the way that you are pouring into the lives of the next generation. And now I want to talk about this summer camp. We've already talked a little bit about camps,
Yep.
even your personal camp experience, all of that, how you have served with the KECY camps in Slovakia. But one of the reasons I wanted to talk to you is that you were the one to write the main evening talks for a week of camp. And these talks will go out to, oh my gosh, thousands of students will hear these talks. And the theme of our 2026 summer camps that happen not only across Slovakia, but all of our Josiah Venture countries is outside the box. So that's the theme, outside the box. So I'd love just for you to share more. What does this theme mean? And what was this writing process like for you?
Yeah, I would say I had the privilege to write this year talks, and I had them in my mind for a long time. But I didn't write them on my own. I had the help from one of our colleagues. His name is Alex Tomanek. He also serves with
nice.
Josiah Venture in the higher education, and
Yes.
he helped
fun.
me a lot. Yeah, to write it all down. But I had the idea in my head actually for years. I remember it was maybe like 2019 or 20 when I had this idea in my mind, like, what if we at the summer camp, what if we challenged not just non-believer students that come, but also believer students, and also leaders. And I had that idea of a box in my head for a long time, that we are like living in our boxes. Like everybody has their own space. This is what I do. This is what I know. This is how I operate. Like, I know my Christian environment. This is what I live day by day. Or for non-believers, it's like this is my environment, and like Christianity is somewhere there, and I don't want to deal with it. But what if we at the camp were able to challenge everyone to just step out? Like even kids raised in a Christian home, like they have their own struggles, and that they need to accept the faith on their own, and they need to, like, they cannot just live from their parents' faith for the rest of their lives. And what if this challenge was for everyone? So that was the idea that I had for it. And I was trying to, like, for some time. It was somewhere on the back of my mind, and then the opportunity arose basically last year. If we would have a talks about something connected with it, about like Jesus asking you a question and you need to do something about it. And it was like out of the box question, like something that you don't expect. And that's where all the pieces, I would say, connected together. And I was like, yes, that's it. Like, I want to write this and I want to prepare it. And I had it was great. I loved it. From the very beginning, it went great. Then, of course, when I was already writing down, it was hard, like to
Yeah.
to write it all down, to put your ideas on the paper in a way that
To organize it. Yeah.
organize it and to make it sound good, and everything. But I like the result that we came with. And I'm just curious what will happen in the summer and how
Right.
God will use it. And I know that I did what I could, and I hope that God will do the rest, and God will
That's
make
right.
the difference. And
Mm-hmm.
and what I love, I'm not sure if it's the spoiler, but what I love about the idea of the box is like when you think that you are in some like closed space and you need to get out, you need to basically break it. Like you need to break out of this box. And like one of the like key moment for all of our camps should be like breaking out of this box. And when you open the box, the print, or I don't know how it looks like, the box when you open it, it's the shape of the cross.
Right. Yeah, because every camp will
Yes.
have an actual physical
Yeah.
box, right? Made out of like cardboard
Yeah.
and with different sides to it. Yeah, and then you open it, it's gonna look like
Yeah.
the cross.
Yeah. So I had a
Oh.
friend from town in Slovakia, in Košice, that he designed the pictures, and he designed like how it should look like on that opened box, so it will like resemble that that this is the cross, that basically when you are just open to Jesus challenge you, like he can change everything about your life.
Yeah.
And that's
yeah.
the big idea that was for a long time in my head, and I'm really glad that I could just like put it out. Like I was like,
It's happening.
yeah. I still have it, for years. I was like, I have this in my mind. Like I put it in my notes, and I was from time to time there was an idea, and I wrote it down. Like this would be great. This would be great. And finally I could put it all on the paper, and I'm looking forward.
Oh, me too. I always look forward to all the summer ministry. But even as you said, like sometimes it takes a few years for an idea to kind of simmer for a while before it can happen. And so that's even cool to hear that you had this idea for a camp theme or like the visual of this box. And now it's actually happening
Yeah.
this summer outside the box. That's so cool. What are some of the pictures on the box?
So it's like there is a one night we will have like a dreaming outside the box, and there is on the every side there is like a small person, and for example, it's the person that is looking at the stars. So that's like the dreaming outside of the box, or it's like the person walking on the stairs, like stepping out of something, or what is another one? Like it's like the following outside the box. It's like somebody who is following a path and like trying to find something. And every, like for example, for the picture with the stars, you don't see it from the first moment, but basically it's the person is sitting on a hand. So because when you open the box, it's the hand on the cross.
Oh,
So it's like
okay.
so it's the spoiler. So
spoiler.
I'm not sure if students at our camp are listening to the podcast, but
yeah, I know. Well, I don't know. We'll see. Something to look forward to. Yeah. Oh, that's so cool. I love that visual. And I know, like, especially with the evening talks at camp, it's kind of a build up, right, to the gospel. And so even slowly introducing it, like think outside the box and like daring outside the box,
Yes.
dreaming outside the box, receiving outside the box. I think that's like the one about forgiveness and like
Yes.
then the
Yes.
like believing too. Like that gospel night. There's always like that. It all comes to like the peak of this is the gospel and like sharing it.
Yeah.
And, oh man,
Yeah.
that's so cool. So you did it. You wrote these talks and it's happening.
It is happening. Yeah.
Do you feel like it's a big accomplishment?
I'm not sure. Maybe I am like, I just hope the feedback will be good,
Yeah. We'll see. We'll see.
I'm okay with like, when people don't like it and if they say like, oh, it was not good. It didn't work for our students. But I feel like for Slovaks, for people and students in Slovakia, I believe it's something that they need to hear. And I just hope that it will be so useful at other countries as well. But yeah, I'm not sure if I would say like it's finished already. I wait like what the feedback will be. Like I will be biting my nails.
We'll see. And then will you personally give some evening talks at a camp?
I
or
will.
A few
will
camps
do,
this summer?
Actually, just one where I will share. But I will share the talks at one of the camps. So yeah, look forward to it.
Nice. Yeah. How do you and your team in Slovakia prepare for a whole summer of ministry?
Okay. So we in Slovakia this summer we will do 9 camps with 11 Slovak churches. So at some of the camps there are multiple, and we have these 11 teams that we work with throughout the year, and in Slovakia, and then there are partners in the states that we are in touch with and work with. But over these 10 years, we tried multiple different things, how we can work with them. But we try to be as personal as possible. Like to know, because the churches are spread in Slovakia everywhere. And we as a team try to be in touch with all of them at least like, I don't know, every other week, to know what is happening, to know maybe what are the struggles, how preparation for the camps are going. And then every year we offer like each team to do, we call it a core training or core one training. And it's like to focus on the basics or basic things in the ministry, like what you need to have a vision, you need to know where you're going, you need to set up some goals and help them this way. And then every year we also do one bigger event. We call it a pre-camp training for Slovak teams. And this year we did it kind of early in March, end of March already. But we had a very big training. So in Slovakia, every summer, it's around 170 people serving, Slovaks, over 170 Slovaks. And at the training, we had like 142. So most of them were there, and we prepared like a small conference event for them. We had the teaching about sharing the gospel, about focusing on discipleship, about like understanding a young generation better, how we can serve them. And we did it a little bit different because it was a big crowd. So we did it more like a conference style. And but we try to do it, tweak it every year and do it a little bit differently. But we every year we do something for all the churches that they can come to, and you just experience, like you are from the east of Slovakia and you come to a training, usually in Žilina, and you meet team from Bratislava, from other side of the country, and even though you like never met them, you share something together. You share the same passion. You share that you want to serve young people in your town, and it's great. It's really so rewarding to be with them there.
Oh man, I'm excited for whatever God is about to do. And here at the end of the podcast, we're coming to the end. Just as you're thinking about summer ministry and even the camp you'll be at, and just all these young people across Central and Eastern Europe. Just how can people be praying for young people this summer?
You can definitely pray that many, if not all, will be willing to step outside of the box that they live in. I really pray that it will be something that is changing lives. That the people are just willing to open their lives for Jesus, open their boxes, and just let Him to transform who they are, who they are, and I pray that the gospel will be shared. Pray that all the gospel will be shared in the right way, in the way that students understand at each of the camps in Europe, and that really we as a people serving there, either from Slovakia or from Czech Republic or Slovenia or from United States, that we will just be God's hands and feet and mouths that will proclaim like who He is.
Amen to that. That's amazing. Well, Daniel, thank you. Thank you for sharing your story today, sharing how you became a believer, and then for sharing just about your many years of ministry in Slovakia. And just, I can hear your passion for young people. And so praying for you too and your family as you serve as a family on mission. Will your whole family be at a camp together?
Yeah. That's something I love. I love that I can serve with my family, to have the kids there. It's not always, the easiest thing to have, but but even like, for the kid from that never experienced healthy relationships within a family, it's so important. So I love it.
Yes.
I love it.
Yes. Oh, amazing. Well, I pray you have a wonderful ministry of summer, and thank you again for being on the podcast today.
Thank you for inviting me.
You're welcome. Bye.
Bye.
Thank you for listening to Josiah Venture Stories. For more information about who we are and our vision and mission, visit us at josiahventure.com and follow us on social media. If you have any questions about this episode or would like to get in touch with our guest, please email social@josiahventure.com. To help more people hear about this podcast, please leave us an honest written review or share this episode on your social media. Thank you, friends, and have a blessed day.